And also a regular council meeting of May the 21st. Is there any errors or omissions? If not, someone willing to make a motion to approve and place on file?
I think you just adopt them. I think what we do, Mr. Chair.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I declare the meeting minutes adopted. I'm going to learn that one of these days. Yeah, after 16 years of doing it one way, it's kind of hard to turn it around. Item number 7, no old business. Item number 8, new business. 8.1, recommendations from the Committee of the Whole. 8.1.1, the Town of Yarmouth wastewater treatment plant upgrades and rehabilitation project. A letter for support request. Councillor Phil Mooney, you have the floor.
Mr. Chair, I'll move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth provide a letter of support to the Town of Yarmouth for its funding application to the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund for the wastewater treatment plant upgrades and rehabilitation project.
Okay, motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second by Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham. Discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 8.1.2, Linda Alblack, property tax concerns.
So,
Councilor
Mr.
Mooney?
Chair, I move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth send a letter of thanks to Ms. A. Black for the correspondence, provide details regarding the assessments, and encourage a resident to send the same correspondence to PVSC, MLA Nick Hilton, and MP Chris D'Entremont.
Okay, motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councilor Daniel Muse. Discussion on that? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. 8.1.3, business parklands, local supply chain. Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham.
Yes, I'll move that staff communicate opportunities to attract supply chain professionals to the area by contacting professional associations in Nova Scotia, promoting the Nova West Regional Business Park as a viable location for establishing operations.
A motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councilor Jim Baxter. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 8.1.4, the exploration of the mayoral system. And before I call for the motion on this, I'm going to ask the CEO to, there's some information that's come to light in regards to this because the province of Nova Scotia is in discussions with some other municipal units about what they call a strong mayor, and CAO, I do believe, has an update on that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So there's been quite a bit of media in the last couple of weeks about a form of powers for heads of councils in Ontario called strong mayor powers. And there's some talk that that may be coming in some shape or form to Nova Scotia. My concern with the municipality of Yarmouth pursuing its project at this time is that residents will be confused between the initiative this council is looking at undertaking and all of the possible implications with a paradigm shift in the powers of mayors in Nova Scotia. So I would recommend that council actually table this motion until after the fall sitting of the Nova Scotia legislature to see, A, if legislation is coming, and if it does, what's in it? What are the details around it? There's lots of time before the next election, and based on experience, my gut is telling me that if the municipality was to go to the public today, they would have the two issues very badly confused.
Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham.
I'll move that the Municipality District of Yarmouth table agenda item 8.1.4, exploration of a mayoral system, until after the fall sitting of the legislature.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councilor Trevor Perry. Discussion on that? I will say this, I think it's only prudent that we do this. We're not even into our first year. We do have plenty of time to move forward on this, this thing, and the more information we have, and be a little bit more clear is certainly in the best interest of everyone. Any more discussion on the motion on the floor? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 8.2, request for decision, the Rotary Center siding. Madam CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So Danny Jackson is here with council this evening. He's got a couple of requests for decision that he'd like to go over with you, so I'll hand the floor over to him to deal with the first item.
Okay, Danny, just hit your red button. Your mic is on. You have the floor.
Mr. Chair, Madam CEO, council, staff and guests, this is a request for decision for Rotary Centre siding located at 107 Cemetery Road in Hebron. I'm going to go through the background, the status and the recommendation in those orders. So as part of the ongoing accessibility improvements to the Rotary Centre, the municipality of the District of Yarmouth has made significant progress in completing a series of accessibility renovations aligned with provincial and federal accessibility goals. The building integrity has further been improved by the installation of a new metal roof, energy-efficient LED ceiling lights, enhancing both the functionality and long-term sustainability of the facility through minor adjustments to central electrical, plumbing and water heating systems. However, the condition assessment of the existing after demolition, the siding showed faded, damaged and visibly deteriorated. Some of the damage presents safety concerns. It now stands in stark contrast to the recent accessibility upgrades and detracts from the overall appearance of the building. During project design, initial condition assessments did not indicate the severity of the degradation on the building siding until existing infrastructure was removed during demolition. Given the findings of the most recent condition assessment and the operational implications of the siding replacement within the broader construction schedule, there is a clear urgency to proceed with the siding replacement. Installing the new siding at this stage will complete the building's exterior renovation upgrades, providing a safe, cohesive and professional finish, as well as supporting other upgrades for energy efficiency. To maintain project momentum and minimise disruption, it is recommended that Council approve proceeding with this component under the provisions of alternative procurement in the Procurement Policy P088-14 S14 Schedule A. Under S65 and X65 of the NGA, Council is authorised to expand the money on the projects not in the approved capital investment plan, as long as the total annual expenditure does not exceed the total budget allotment. The current CIP calls for the replacement of a public works tractor. This project can be delayed. Status. In response to the urgent need to address the condition of the exterior siding, thereby completing the final phase of the Rotary Centre renovations, 2 quotations was obtained with a very short timeline. Number 1 was CP Contracting submitted a quotation in the amount of $67,775.69, including HST, with the full siding replacement scope. Delmar Construction Limited submitted a quotation with 3 separate pricing options detailed in Appendix A for Council's review and comparison. These quotations were gathered to support an expedited decision under the provisions for alternative procurement given the time sensitivity and the operational impacts associated with completing the project. So as for the recommendation, I move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth accept the lowest quotation from Delmar Construction Limited, option 2, in the amount of $34,495 plus a non-refundable HST for the replacement of the metal siding on the Rotary Centre located at 107 Cemetery Road. And further, that the project be funded under the amended capital investment plan by delaying the public works tractor until 2026-2027 fiscal year. Thank you.
Danny, before I open up the floor to questions, I do have one question. Your recommendation was to move with option 2 from Delmar Construction, and option 1. No, sorry, the
Option
lowest
2.
one, option 2.
Option 2.
And it says here that the same scope as above using a 29 gauge metal siding. So, excuse my ignorance, what's the difference between 29 gauge metal siding and 26?
It's the thickness.
Now, would the thickness, I'm assuming that option 2 is thinner, would that be more prone to dent damage and other things like that?
With working with metal siding, yes, the thinner the material you go, it is prone to more damage, but it comes with a lower cost of the financial implication.
Any idea what's on there now?
No.
I figured I'd ask you a question. Most typically, I thought that them older ones were 26. Okay. Comments from council? Deputy Warden?
Just I'll move that we accept the recommendation of Danny, and as he read it into the record, so that would be option 2 is in the delay of the public works tractor. Yeah.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Jim Baxter. Discussion, Councillor Daniel Muse.
So, is there any fear that our tractor is possibly going to break down, or is it going to make it? I'm just questioning that. I'm just wondering why we had it in the budget for 25, 26. Why we were going ahead and moving forward with this tractor, and now we can say we can delay it. So was there a fear that it might not make it through the year? Is that why we put this in the budget to begin with?
Well, we don't necessarily always recommend capital vehicle replacement because we have a fear something's not going to make it. We try to make recommendations on replacement versus repairs and maintenance, balancing the cost implications. What this is an exercise in re-ranking priorities. So the tractor still needs to be replaced, but on balance, the risks to the municipality are that the tractor can be delayed 1 fiscal year, and that this needs to happen now.
Okay, thank you.
And I will put another question follow-up to Councillor Muse. We're talking about the John Deere, correct?
I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it is the John Deere. And the only reason why I know that is because that's
They
the
didn't
one that
pay-
we use for, when we have our Christmas celebrations here, that we use it for the hay rides and stuff. So I know that one fairly well. I've been in it a few times. The hours are creeping up on it, and as we all know, vehicles break down over time. That one I do believe has been pretty good, but you just never know when the equipment gets age on it.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Muse, for that question. Any more questions, discussions on the motions on the floor? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, there was a request to move up item 8.4 in place of item 8.3, so we'll do that one first. Request for a decision, administration building water booster pump. Danny?
Mr. Chair, this is the next request for decision from the Office of Asset Management and Capital Projects. Same again, I'll go through the background, the status and the recommendation. So during the initial design phase of the accessibility renovations for the administration building, no concerns was identified regarding water pressure. However, following the installation of the new flush valve toilets on the higher level, the new accessible washrooms, it was discovered that the toilets would not flush properly due to the lack of pressure. As the booster pump was not on the original drawings for the facility, the booster pump was an addition after this building was fabricated. Upon investigation, it was determined that the existing residential booster pump located in the mechanical room downstairs had failed and was providing a negative level of service. Further assessment revealed that the facility is only receiving between 35 and 38 psi from the incoming town water supply, and was noted at some times to be at 30 psi. Due to friction losses and elevation gains within the building, approximately 8 psi is lost directing water upstairs from the mechanical room, resulting in inefficient pressure to operate the flush valve toilets. Additionally, the administration building contains 3 showers, 8 washrooms, 5 kitchens and a mop sink, all of which rely on constant water pressure. Compounding the issue, the facility is located at the end of the town's of Yarmouth's water distribution line, which is not ideal for maintaining optimal service pressure. Status. The fouled residential booster pump has been confirmed as the root cause of the insufficient water pressure at the administration building. While temporary measures have been implemented to maintain limited functionality, the new flush valve toilets remain inoperable without sufficient pressure, approximately 30 psi. A quotation was obtained from Delmar Construction Limited and subcontractors based on the specifications provided by the mechanical engineer for the project for the supply and installation of a new variable frequency drive, VFD, booster pump. The upgrade is necessary to restore adequate water pressure throughout the facility and ensure the reliable operation of all plumbing fixtures in support of the building's recent accessibility improvements. The mechanical engineer has advised against reducing costs by installing a lower grade solution, citing the size and pressure demands of the building as key factors. The proposed work is ready to proceed pending council approval. However, there is an estimated delivery time of 8 to 10 weeks for the new equipment. Recommendation. Move that the municipality of the District of Yarmouth accept the quotation from Delmar Construction Limited in the amount of $31,475.44 plus applicable taxes for the supply and installation of a variable frequency drive, VFD, water booster pump at the administration building, and further that the project be funded from the Canada Community Building Fund gas tax reserves, and further that the 2025-26 capital investment plan be amended to reflect the addition of this product to the budget accordingly. Thank you.
Councillor Phil Mooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll move that we accept the recommendation from Danny Jackson from our Asset Management and Capital Projects Coordinator.
Motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Lauren Cushion. Discussion on that. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, 8.3, request for decision, the HVAC system, 62 Arcom Drive.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you. Just hit your button, Derek, and you have the floor.
Good evening, Chair, Council, and staff. Before you, you have a request for decision regarding the heating, ventilation, air conditioning rooftop unit replacement of 62 Arcom Drive. I'll begin with the background and the bit of background and then the recommendation towards it. So the asset, the municipality owns the 20,000 square foot building located at 62 Arcom Drive. The building was constructed in 2 phases 20 plus years ago and has undergone some capital improvements in the last 5 years to support interior uses. However, the main service units for the heating and cooling system were not included in the scope for those projects and have reached the end of their useful life. Both units are contributing to ongoing operational challenges with environmental controls of the building. Council had budgeted $40,000 in the 2025-26 capital investment plan for HVAC equipment replacement. A request for quotations was issued on May 2nd, 2025, calling for the following pricing options: replacing RTU unit number 1, replacing RTU unit number 2, or replacing both units 1 and 2 simultaneously for cost savings and operation compatibility. Our pricing came in significantly above the budget allotment. The lowest bid for both units was $110,940 plus HST. The operational considerations for replacing one or both units. The replacement of both units would increase the ability to maintain a more efficient control of temperatures within the space. Due to the age of the existing units and their operational condition, efficient controls is compromised, and the units struggle to operate as designed. Additionally, there is a risk of significant equipment failure, which would put the municipality in a complex compliant issue with respect to the tenant's lease rights. Energy efficiency of the new units, coupled with reduced cost on repairs and maintaining the present units, would be advantageous. Present market conditions, uncertainty, and inflation indicate that there will not be a reduction in the market rates for this equipment. Replacement of one unit only will offer some advantage, but could cause compatibility issues from an operational perspective. The capital investment plan, there are 2 projects slated on the CIP which could be delayed in order to address the risk associated with delaying the HVAC replacement at 62 Arcom Drive. Those projects are the new truck for recreation and the resurfacing of the tennis courts. While those projects are important, they do not present operational risk failures of the HVAC units present. The total budget value of delay on the 2 projects is $120,000. The HVAC replacement project has an approved budget of $40,000, leaving a $71,000 shortfall. So recommendation is moved that the municipality district of Yarmouth award the HVAC replacement contract at 62 Arcom Drive to George P. King Contracting Limited to replace both HVAC units RTU 1 and 2 for the bid of $110,940 plus HST. And further, that the capital investment plan, CIP, be amended to delay the recreation half-ton and tennis court resurfacing projects to the 2026-27. And further, that the approved budget for the HVAC replacement be amended to $100,940 plus non-refundable HST.
I think there's just a typo there.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Did you see that?
What is council's pleasure? Councilor Lauren Cushion.
I'll make a recommendation that we go ahead with Derek's recommendation for the HVAC systems at 62 Raycom Drive. I certainly can appreciate that the tennis courts would need resurfacing, but again, these are mechanical issues that they don't go cheaper, they go more expensive, and it is something that is needed for the comfort of the tenants that are there. So I'll make that motion.
Okay, a motion on the floor. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham. Discussion?
I guess I have the same question. As a previous one, like, we felt that we needed a truck, and I will approve this, but we felt that we needed a truck, and we put it in the budget, and now we're shifting things around. We maybe could have made that truck work another year and not even had it in the budgets. That's my concern. I understand what we're doing here, and I think it's great, but why were we looking at a truck to begin with if we feel we can make it stretch out another year? So I just question that. I will support the motion, but that just kind of boggles me a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do you want me to answer that?
You want to go ahead and answer that, Madam CEO?
Sure. So it's a good question, and we try to make recommendations on capital equipment replacements prior to the equipment laying down completely. When council approves the capital investment plan in January of each year, it puts the municipality in a better position from a procurement perspective to get the documents out to the marketplace. If the municipality waits until equipment lays down and is inoperable, then we have 2 issues. Under the Municipal Government Act, council would have to rejig its entire capital investment plan in the middle of the year to provide for resources to do it. And then we're also scrambling operationally, getting procurement out the door, finding a plan B to continue to operate, as well as kind of manage all of the financial implications of doing that kind of work on the fly like that. So that's why this happens from time to time. I will say, Councillor Muse, this is my 7th capital investment plan, and this is the first time we've had to rejig like this.
Are you happy with that answer, Councillor, or do you have any more follow-up?
I'd just like to identify a typo in that last recommendation, that the approved budget for the HVAC replacement be amended to, it's $100,940. It should be $110,940.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Correction.
Councillor Cushing.
Yes, Thank you, Mr. Warden. Further to Councillor Buse' question about the equipment and whatnot, asset management is a very important matter that we have to deal with on a regular basis, and we don't wait till something breaks down before we replace it. We replace it on the age, it's how its operation is, and just the condition of for instance, the tennis court surface. You know, yes, we know that these have to be replaced, but there's always that option that we can postpone it for another year or so without further risking breakdowns, or in the case of the tennis courts, the lack of use of it, right? So it's just a standard practice that I'm glad that we are able to do it from time to time. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you, Derek. Okay, moving on. Item number 9, correspondence for action, 9.1.1, the Sarah Corning Society, wayfinding signage. MCO or anyone? Councillor Lauren Cushion.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. The Sarah Corning Society request for the wayfinding signage at their for the Sarah Corning Memorial Park, which is located at the Shigaugan Baptist Church Cemetery area. Sarah was a local resident of Shigaugan in her day, and as the letter stated out, that she has done valuable service in her day for a number of people around the world. The town of Yarmouth has erected a park with a statue of Sarah Corning with a child, with two children, one in her arms and one held by the hand. So it's a very important thing that we just continue on with this. And the wayfinding signage request for the motor to install that wayfinding signage for the Sarah Corning Memorial. I'd like to make a motion that we add that to our list of wayfinding signage.
Motion on the floor, seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Discussion on that? Deputy Warden.
So I'm assuming that staff will go look at what's appropriate and come back to council for approval, given the dollars and that type of thing? Are you looking for that, or is this something that this will suffice, this one-time motion?
Well, the municipality doesn't have a policy guiding how it will support not-for-profits in terms of fabricating and installing wayfinding signage. In fact, I think this is the first time we've been asked to do it. The municipality does have a grants to organizations program, which could support the society in designing and fabricating their own signs, and then could work with the provincial government on the installation of them, because the roadways are provincial roadways anyway. If the municipality owned the roads, it might be a little bit different. So maybe we could support the society by working with them on preparing a grant application. There are contingency funds in that grant fund, so perhaps it could come forward during this fiscal year and we can help them out that way.
Councillor Phil Mooney.
What, we're already doing some signage already, right? Were we doing 47?
We're doing a lot of wayfinding signage, and we actually have included the Sanford Drawbridge in the absence of a policy on it. So maybe that's the answer, is a policy. I think the Sanford Drawbridge was being included in signs we were fabricating anyway for municipally owned assets. So if this is going to become a regular thing, then council really should consider a policy guiding the investment.
And do you also think, Mr. Chair, maybe to the CAO, is, I know Jennifer quite well, and they said they're just in the process of developing the park itself. And I know the significance of Sarah Corning to the Armenian community across the globe, like Councillor Cushing stated. But is there an opportunity for Jennifer or somebody from the Sarah Corning Society? Because the Sarah Corning Society was instrumental of the statue or the figure on Parade Street. Come in and maybe give us an overview of what they're planning, because this still looks like it's in the planning stages right now.
It is, and it's possible that the placemaking fund could help with the actual park itself. So I think that there's probably more the municipality can do to support them than they realize.
And the other question is maybe, Jenny, how many times people have asked you questions here at the table? Except for what did they say?
I ask her once in a while.
Okay, so Jenny, in her role as working with the Heritage Committee in the municipality, is it my understanding, am I right, that you can declare a property and heritage property without it being actual 150 years old? It can be, it has a significance to the community, so there might be an opportunity there. So even though the park's only a year old, or 2 years old, or in the development stage, that could be one of the opportunities that they have to declare that a heritage site.
Yep. And in fact, so we've rejigged work assignments a little bit, and so Mark Blinn is looking after heritage as well as community development. So it would be a one-window service provider for the society in terms of what are all the ways the municipality could support them.
Can I make an amendment to the Councillor Cushing's motion?
You certainly can.
That we invite the Sarah Corning Society for a presentation on the development of a memorial park next to the Chicago Baptist Church.
Okay, amendment on the motion is made. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Jim Baxter. Discussion on the amendment.
I just have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, and then-
So it's almost as though that's a standalone motion, and we would still have to vote on the main motion, which,
which wouldn't change the main motion.
yeah, I don't know, maybe if the amendment read, in lieu of a donation decision tonight, council invite. Maybe
Okay.
if that's the amendment.
I'll make that a motion.
So that's the amendment on the motion. Is that
Yeah.
okay with the seconder?
It's good.
Okay.
Second.
Councillor Mooney, you still have the floor.
I'm good, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councillor Jim Baxter. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Deputy Warden Trevor Cunningham. I didn't see his mic flashing.
Yeah, so just quickly, so my understanding of what this would do is it would invite the Sarah Corning Society in, and we'd have a discussion with them before we made any move forward on the wayside. But with that in mind still.
That would be my understanding.
Okay.
That is my understanding as it sits right now. Councillor Jim Baxter.
I just wanted to mention that I did not know Sarah Corning's history or story until this came up, and it's something that's pretty amazing. She made a significant change on a world level, so this is important. That's it.
Okay, there's an amendment on the motion. Is there any more discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, back to the main motion. Is there any more discussion on the main motion? Seeing none? Yeah, go ahead. You want the mic?
I just want to get it read back, that's all.
Okay. Jenny, sorry. Could you please read the, did I
Yep.
turn you on or off? Oh, okay.
In lieu of a donation decision, that staff invites the Sarah Corning Society to make a presentation to council.
Okay, you happy with that? Any discussion on the main motion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. All right, item 9.2, for your information, invitation to the Yarmouth High School graduation, Yarmouth Hospital Foundation update, library funding, and the Nova Scotia physicians warn about Ukrainian mining and uranium. Sorry, my apologies on that. Nova Scotia physicians warn about uranium mining and exploration. We have any of that, any discussion or questions about that? If there's, Councilor Mooney.
On 9.23, Mr. Chair, I'll be bringing a motion on behalf of the Western County Regional Library Board in July in regards to the letter, I think it's from East or West Hants? East
Yeah.
Hants? So I'll be bringing a letter going to Honorable Dave Ritchie, so I'll be bringing that, but it'll be Western Nova Scotia specific.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Muse?
Mr. Chair, just wondering under 9.2.1, Yarmouth High School graduation, do we have somebody going? Great, thank you.
Myself. It's awfully hot underneath those lights, I can say that. After about 2 hours, you need to turn me over. All right, since there's no more, I see, oh, Councillor Cushion.
I'd like to just mention about the 9.2.4, the Nova Scotia physicians warn about uranium mining and exploration. I said on the climate change committee, which we had through NSFM, we had a meeting yesterday, I believe, by Zoom, and the people in the Truro area and the surrounding areas there are very concerned about that uranium mining. So I just want to let our council know that it is a concern to other municipalities about the possible uranium mining exposure, right? So anyway, I just want to let our council know about this, so.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more? If I see no more mics flashing, therefore I'm looking for a motion to receive and place on file. Moved by Councillor Phil Mooney. Do I have a seconder? Second by Councillor Jim Baxter. Motion on the floor in regards to information received and placed on file. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Thank you very much, everyone. Well, that part I got right. It's the first one I messed up on. Reports, CEO's report.
So, Mr. Chair, this is a big one. It's the quarterly report, so it includes the update on the strategic plan as well as the standard items. And it also includes a summary of the provincial EMO exercise I participated in earlier this spring. I would like to highlight something that is a first. On page 1, item number 2. So the private road maintenance bylaw has been enacted by council since 2020 when the subdivision bylaw was revised. And so we are exercising it for the first time. Some of the councillors and even newer councillors might be aware that there's been a bit of an issue on the Golden Forest Road with respect to a culvert. And the private road maintenance bylaw is being exercised to create a solution to that problem. So it's been a great experience working with the community and the association on that. The invoices will be going out to the affected landowners next week, and the money should come in July, and we'll be able to remit it to the association, and they'll be able to affect their project. So I'll give you an update on how it all goes, but this is a first under that bylaw, so I did want to highlight that.
Any questions for the CEO in regards to her report? If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept the CEO's report as presented. Moved by Councillor Daniel Muse. Do I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Lauren Cushion. Approved as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Warden's report. I have no formal report written out, and I will say this much. It's been awful busy the past quite a few weeks. There was a function out at the fire hall Port Maitland, where Councillor Jim Baxter had a nice picture of all of our mugshots up on a board, and it was quite well attended, actually, when I was there. Bought some jam and stuff that really enjoyed. There's other things that were going on. Fireman's Fun Day, Councillor Phil Mooney seemed to pull up a chair and solicited a lot of funds from a lot of different people.
Plus won 15 pounds of lobster.
Yeah, he won 15 pounds of lobster. Also, he was at the Carlton store for our Camp Peniel fundraiser, Send a Kid to Camp. He spent 6 hours sitting there. I don't know what it is, but you're pretty good at sitting in the chair. We got to get your hips fixed.
Oh, yeah. Space is my specialty.
It's been extremely busy with all the different things that are going on across the municipality. I'd like to thank the deputy warden for attending some functions on my behalf. I was unable to attend them all. I was also out last weekend to the Yarmouth Sea Cadets, Air Cadets, and Army Cadets annual general review. That was something that's near and dear to my heart, because a lot of you may or may not know that I was a Sea Cadet back in the early 80s, and I was in that organization from 1980 right up until 1992. It's very interesting to see all the different kids, and I was also commended on wearing my chains of office by a bunch of the officers from the Royal Canadian Forces, because they say a lot of them that they go to where elected officials go to, they just show up in jeans and t-shirts, and they thought it was important that that I, representing the municipality district of Yarmouth, council and residents, that I showed up properly dressed, and not as well as Councillor Daniel Muse is dressed, but I showed up properly dressed in a black suit and tie and chains of office, so they're very appreciative of that. As Councillor Daniel Muse had asked me the question in regards to the invitation to Yarmouth High School graduation, I will be attending that this Friday. I can't say the names because they don't know yet, so I'm there to give out the bursaries there. Always looking forward to that. I've been doing that for, even before I was warden, even did it a few times as deputy warden. I will say that them lights are awful hot, but it's well worth the 3 hours to watch each and every graduation student walk across that stage and see the smile on their face. So congratulations to them on behalf of staff and council here at the Municipality District of Yarmouth. Canada Day celebrations are coming up on July the 1st. I do believe that there's going to be one held in the town on one of the wharves on Water Street. I can't remember the name of the wharf because it just passed my head. Also, we're having cake and stuff out at Cape Shoe. I'm going to be out and about. I think the grand opening for the Yarmouth Recreation, Frank had sent me something, I believe it was at 11:30 in the morning when the official opening ceremonies of Canada Day was going on. So a lot going on. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Strawberry Festival going on in Lake Vaughan. Fire Department from 1 till 5 p.m. I did double check. I'm also going to reach out to any councillors if there's something going on in your district. If you can think of it right now, I'll open up the floor to you. If not, Councillor Trevor Perry.
Yeah, the Central Sherbrooke Heritage Church Society will have a Strawberry Social as well on July 1st from 1 till 3. Donations welcome, but not necessary.
July 1st from 1 till 3. I didn't know that, and I'm from that area. Good. It's a good thing for me to do when I'm going over visiting my mom. Maybe I'll bring her out there, because actually, here's a funny story. At that church, when I was 3 or 4 years old, apparently I was the head of the choir. That's a true story. My grandmother always used to bring me to that church, and they used to love to hear me scream in the top of my lungs trying to sing everyone else. I don't do that no more. But that's true. My grandmother, Edith Cunningham, used to bring me out there every Sunday to church, and I attended Sunday school out there, so I'd like to get back out there. Thank you very much for that. Is there any other events? Just a reminder to council members, if there's anything going on in your communities during the warden's report, I'm going to open up the floor to each and every one of you, because as Councillor Trevor Perry stated, I did not know about that one, and thank you very much for that. July 1st from 1 till 3. And Lake Vaughan this Saturday from 1 till 5. So that's my report. Not too formal, and I think that's the way I'm going to keep them from now on, rather than writing them out. And also, I want to thank all you councillors for being out and about, being in the community eye, even though you're not from the district. Councillor Jim Baxter, you serve up a mean coffee. Thank you very much. So that's my report. So we'll move on to legal entities reports. There's some written ones. Is there any verbal? Councillor Phil Mooney.
Yeah, just a quick one, Mr. Chair, thank you. We had the annual general meeting today for the Yarmouth and Acadian Shores Tourism Association, and I encourage everybody to look at the website and look at the annual general meeting report. Neil McKenzie and the staff has gone above and beyond. They have a new office out in Tuscany. You should go out there and give them a visit. They've done a really nice job in there. They're going to be, it's a really good setup, and I think they'll be there for years to come. But I encourage you to look at that report. Neil's got, of course, we got Nova Scotia Music Week coming this year, but he has some other conferences that are on the hook that we can't announce yet for next year. So, but have a look. It's a professional product that they put out.
Thank you very much, Councillor Mooney, and my apologies for not attending that annual general meeting for YASTA. Although I only work about a 30-second walk from the shop, I did plan to come. But however, there was another meeting that come up in regards to a province's announcement for policing, so I had to pick one or the other. And I knew that we were attended there, so thank you very much for that. Any more under legal entities, verbal reports? Councillor Lauren Cushion.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Under the Mariner Center Expansion Board, not a big thing, I guess, but my name is listed as an alternate, in which I am the representative, and Trevor Perry is the alternate, so those two should be switched back, probably.
Yeah,
so.
we can get that sorted with the admin.
Yeah, okay, we'll get that sorted out.
Yeah,
Thank you. So that for legal entities. Advisory. Councillor Cushing, your mic is still on, you still have the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Deputy Warden.
Yes, the PAC Planning Advisory Committee met, and we talked about principally the wind power issue. There's been some revised legislation around windmills and so forth, so we're working our way through that, and there'll be a recommendation coming to council at some juncture.
Thank you very much. I hope we stay in our own lane. I will say that. That is the intention. Okay, thank you very much. Councillor Phil Mooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also under the Heritage Advisory Committee, I talked to Jenny last week, and I think we might have an opportunity for another entity to register as a heritage property. So I have some information to pick up from Jenny and the heritage people in the administration part, and pass that on to the group that's looking to do something.
Okay, thank you very much. Any more under advisory? Ad hoc. Seeing none? Public comments? None? All right, I'd like to take a motion to take a 5-minute break before we go into camera. Moved by Councillor Phil Mooney, second by Councillor Jim Baxter. Motion on the floor to take a 5-minute recess. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Thank you.